Hey everyone, my name is Kris Barocsi and welcome to Gear Corner. This is the last video of the year, which is exciting for me at least. I've chosen a fuzz, a really special fuzz for this one. It's the Experience Fuzz and Octafuzz by Tsakalis Audioworks. And even though it looks like a Jimi Hendrix style pedal, which it kind of is, it can get misunderstood really easily. It's much more than just that traditional silicon fuzz face type tone. It can do a lower octave too if you set it up a certain way, and it can sound literally like a trumpet. It's really cool. Let's get into it. Before we dig deeper, I wanted to talk about the settings I used for the intro track. I had a couple of tracks happening. In the background, I had a much more overdrive-y kind of fuzz tone, and for the solo, I had this almost trumpet-like tone, which you can see on screen right now. This is the magic knob, the damage knob, which if you turn up, the pedal sounds super cool. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's a bias knob. The more you crank it, the more crazy and spitty and strange it starts to sound. And in certain pickup positions and with certain playings and certain positions in the neck, it starts to give you a lower octave, which is incredible. I'll show that in a bit. Now, if you turn back the damage knob, especially back to 0, you get this much more sort of conservative fuzz tone, fuzz type overdrive tone, and that's exactly what was going on in the background. That was the rhythm sort of guitar part. The only difference was where the damage knob was set, and as told, that's the mighty knob. That's what makes this pedal different than any other really nice silicon fuzzes. Talking of which, it's a silicon fuzz. It has like vintage silicon diodes, and you can tell it just sounds really organic, really sweet. I didn't use any overdrive pedal after it, which is something you tend to do after a fuzz. You don't use fuzzes with a super clean amp sound. I had the D40, the Rev, on the clean channel, but I boosted it, so it's on the edge of breakup, even with low output pickups, these strats and telly pickups, but I didn't go for like an overdriven or crazy cranked amp sound, and the pedal still sounded very organic, very nice to listen to, even though that's not really always the case when we're talking about fuzzes. If you use them with a clean sound, they tend to sound really harsh. I'll turn on the octave side in a second, but before I do that, I want to walk you through the upper row, which is the fuzz side of the pedal. Volume, tone, damage, and gain. I'll give you a couple of sounds with different settings, and then we'll move on to see what's up with the octave, which can be used stacked, like together with the fuzz side, or on its own. You can easily play chords with it, even with the gain maxed out, which is, again, not something that all fuzz face type pedals do. And that is something that I really, really appreciate. I will test the pedal with a humbucker guitar, of course, in a second as well. I just want to crank that damage knob to show you what happens. It's where the fun begins, really. I love how it gates as well. It's that lower octave and that gating detail. I should practice that lick again. I forgot it. But it's just not at all traditional anymore. I love that. even though I'm 100% sure this is not the only fuzz that does this, it's just shockingly easy to go from a very subtle, sweet, sort of warm, fuzzy drive tone to this trumpet-like, crazy, gated tone and anywhere in between, even with humbuckers, even on the neck pickup. That is a big thing. If you know fuzzes and use quite a bit of them, you know how many of those fuzz pedals, especially traditional fuzzes, are really picky with the pickup that you play, like the guitar and the pickup, and especially neck pickups, and especially humbucker neck pickups can become a real pain in parts because they just don't react. They just become too muffled to even have any sort of a note happening. It's just a woolly madness coming out. And this manages to keep up with all those low frequencies and all that mid-range and the additional output that a humbucker has. I love that. Now let's move on to the octafuzz. Of course, if you turn down the damage, which is, as told, some sort of a bias or gate knob, if you go back with that to its minimum, you have a longer sustain. It doesn't get gated. It doesn't freak out on you, and you get a longer sustain and a smoother tone. That together with the octave, alrighty. My thoughts on the Tsakalis Audioworks Experience Fuzz. If you only want this pedal for like Hendrixy sounds and you already have an octafuzz and you have some sort of a nice fuzz face pedal or fuzz face style pedal, I don't think you necessarily need it. But, and that's a big but, Oh, if you want to play the Hendrix style stuff, but also more modern things, I'm talking about, you know, Muse style stuff, stoner rock, whatever else, anything else where the lower octave can be fun and sort of unique to your sound, or the gated tone with the damage knob. I mean, you can dial in so many different tones, most of which are way beyond the Hendrix style, traditional 60s, 70s style fuzz tone. I love the fact that you can go absolutely crazy with this and tweak it to sound very unique. I love the tribute side. I love how it looks. The name, Experience, obviously, all refers to that traditional, awesome fuzz and octafuzz tone. And it does that. It nails it. It's perfect. It's just so much more. So I think it would be too bad to just put this in this category of, oh, another Hendrix style fuzz. That's it. It's a lot more than that, and I really, really appreciate it. If you want to check out the pedal, you'll find a link in the description box under the video. You'll find timestamps as well. My merchandise, if you want to support the channel and wear some cool Gear Corner shirts and stuff and hoodies. But also you'll find some gear links, all the stuff I used, and also, obviously, the Experience Fuzz. Make sure to check it out. If you want to see all the specs and everything, you'll find all of that in there. And now all that's left for me to say is thank you, a huge thank you for following the channel, for watching the videos, commenting on the videos, liking the videos, all of those things. I really could not and would never ever do this without you. And that's not just a cheesy statement, it's literally the truth. I very much appreciate each and every one of you. And let's rock 2024 together. Yeah, Happy New Year soon-ish. Not just yet, but soon. Take care. Bye-bye.